game in here. 15-minute game, 10-second increments. And here we go. So I'm just going to try to play good, clean chess and try to control the center, develop my pieces, blah, blah, blah. That's the big idea. Yeah. That dark squared bishop's giving me a little bit of trouble here because I feel like it's going to take my knight. No? Okay. I thought that's what my opponent was up to. I always try to hypothesize what my opponent is up to. I've seen a lot of Bobby Fischer interviews where he talked about that, and he said it was massively important, or something to that effect. That he spends as much time looking at what his opponent is doing as what he does, what he's trying to do. And that's good advice, because there's lots of time where I just focus and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to put my queen here. And then that obsession, if you will, can cause you to be blinded to other opportunities. So, yeah, very possible. I don't like that dark squared bishop there. I'm thinking about putting the knight on e4 and see if I can get rid of that situation. Okay. I could take with the knight. Yes. But I'm missing my dark squared bishop. I'd have my queen on the dark square, and it would be off the bottom rank. That would be wonderful. Yeah, the old c2. Having my knight do all those things was probably a pipe dream. Probably wasn't going to happen. My opponent's rated 1230. Yeah, I don't think they would just sit back and let me fork the king and the rook or something. There's too many pieces over there. Just like in the last game I played, one of my dogs is asleep next to me. So if you hear snoring noises, that's what's happening. Hey gang, thanks for helping me play my chess games. My opponent's playing a lot faster than I am. I don't know if I'm playing really slow or, I mean, those 10-second increments, they're at 16 minutes. Down to 13 and a half. battle over who's going to own the F file. Open file, is that the only open file? It is. The F file is the only open file, so I feel like trying to own it is wise. Excuse me, sorry about that. Yeah, E4 is being attacked. I got isolated double stack pawns. How the hell did that happen? How did I let that happen? Yeah, if I can get lined up on the F file, that'd be great. Love to go to F2. Although there's too much going on, it doesn't really go anywhere. Yeah, I feel like my opponent wants to own the F file again with a major piece, the rook. If we exchange those out, you know, now we're to the age-old question that has plagued mankind. In that situation, what's better, the bishop or the knight? You know, I've watched videos where people have talked about this, and grandmasters even. And it depends, is the real answer. I mean, if there's lots of pawn on the board, I feel like the knight is better because it can hop around as where your bishop can get locked in. So let me say that again. If there's lots of pawn on the board, I feel like the knight is better, my personal opinion. But if there's few pawn on the board, I feel like the bishop is better because it's a long-range officer, and the knight is not that long range. But if the board is cluttered with pawn, that long range doesn't really help. So my opponent's offering queen exchange. Yeah, maybe I should. Towards the end game, you want your king, especially in this end game, I'm going to want my king towards the center of the board. And if I do the exchange, I'm just helping my opponent get one step closer. Maybe I can make some kind of little development first and then do the exchange. Or pawn movement. Maybe I can push pawn a little bit better. It's a pretty tight game. My opponent still is just barely over 15 minutes. Wow. It doesn't feel like I'm playing that much slower than my opponent, but I guess I am. Well, I mean, I can't argue with the actual numbers. It just doesn't feel like I am, but maybe it's because I'm running my big fat mouth. Maybe that's the problem. I'm running my big fat mouth too much. I get that a lot. You'd be surprised. No, you wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if I should go ahead and do that queen exchange. I hate blocking in my own bishop like that, but I'm nervous about that knight swinging down to the c4 square. You know, I feel like you're taking away the power of your bishop by blocking it in, but, you know, I'll move it here in the future, assuming I have time, as in tempo. But, yeah, see, now I can put my bishop on the d5, because before the knight, the pawn would have came down there and it was defended by the knight, and so maybe this pawn can help control the center of the board. I'm sorry, the b5 pawn. I keep saying this pawn. The b5 pawn will help control some of the board. I know I blocked in my own bishop, but all right. So now we got to do the exchange. Take that. This happens sometimes in games where there's just so many pawns, and nobody has a major piece, and they just kind of do. Got to put the king to work. Can't just hang out and watch safely somewhere. The king has to get out there and work, and that's the way it is. I like that if that exchange plays out, because that pushes the king back further away. Pushes the king off the f file further away, because my pawn owns f3. My e pawn owns f3, so here in a hot minute. There we go. I feel like that plays to my advantage a little bit. I still don't have any really good plan to win this. I don't see it. The G pawn has king cut off. There, my e pawn owns the f3 square, so that's good. Of course, I'm also cut off as well, because I can't advance my king to get on top of my pawn. The knight owns c4, so I don't know what I'm going to do. See if the knight will take that bishop. Because my king is closer to this action is why I'm wanting to do that. Because I can get to the A and B pawn before my opponent is my theory. But looks like they're not going to fall for it. $12.30 is pretty respectable ELO, in my opinion. I think it takes a lot of work to get there. I'm at, what am I at, 1246? I spent some time in the 1400s and lost it, but, oh boy, this is, okay, so, yeah, I don't know. I don't want the knight to hop over to the B file. I don't know, gang. This looks like it's going to be a draw because I think both of us see the same thing and neither one of us are willing to give up our position. We're both looking at the same board, same thing. Both pretty equally matched. I'm not giving up my position. And they're not either, so. I just don't see what else to do. Okay, well, I wish I could have won that, but that's okay. Let's see what we got here. Oh, wow, my opponent played at 87.7. I played at 87.6. Wow, that was a taut game. It was taut. And, yeah, wow. Oh, wow, we both played at 1950 according to the computer. That was a taut game. Okay, I thought about pushing that pawn, but anyway. Yeah, I made a handful of mistakes. Thankfully, my opponent did too. Yeah, okay. We were both making the best move for our position. This guy's dead even, so. Okay, great game. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day.